Let's take a look at number 7. Number 7, your x value is fixed. No matter what your y is, your x is always fixed. So this is an equation of vertical line x equals to 3. X equals to 3 is the answer here. Question 8 says, determine which of the following relations is a function. Remember that you have a function if it passes vertical line test, or to each x value, you can associate exactly one y value. So if you find an x with two y values, then it's not a function. Let's take a look at case A. You have 2 and -1, 2 and 0. So you have one x value with 2 y values. It's not a function. What about B? You have 2 values here, 2 points here with the same x, but different y values. So it's not going to be a function. What about C? You have 2 and -1, 2 and 4. Again, not a function. What about D? 2, 0, 3, and 4. These are all different from each other. So I'm just looking at my x values. These x values are all unique, so D represents a function. What about 9? For 9, determine which of the following relations is a function. Again, you're looking for the ones that only have one y value for x. 1 is unique, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it seems to be the function for me, but let me check the rest of them. Here I have 1 and 1, so this cannot be a function. It means that 1 is associated to 4 and 5. It doesn't pass vertical line test. What about C? Here I have 4, which is associated to all of these y values. 4 has more than one y value, so it's not a function. So again, all of these points make this not to be a function. What about this case? It says none of these are functions. But take a look at number 9. For A, it is a function. It's defined a function for us. Very well. Question 10 says determine the domain and range of y equals to x squared. So let's take a look at the graph together. Y equals to x squared. This is the graph of your quadratic function, and this is a parabola. The parabola opens up. So what is the domain? The domain is all x values such that your y is defined. I'm allowed to plug in any number for my x. I can freely plug in any number here, 0, a half, square root of 2, -3, any number fits into x, and x squared is defined. So the domain is all numbers on the real line. This is my domain, as you can see, from -infinity to +infinity. -infinity to +infinity has another representation, which is R. So this is my domain. What about the range? Take a look at the range. Range is all y values associated to x. If x is equal to 0, my y is 0. If x is equal to 1, my y is 1. If x is equal to 2, my y is 4. If x is equal to -2, my y is 4. So as you can see, if you look at this, the shadow of your graph on y-axis, these are all of the values that you see on y-axis. So the range is going to be from 0 to +infinity. 0 to +infinity, or all y values that are larger than or equal to 0, or again from 0 to positive infinity. So the domain is just R, and the range is all Y values, all values on the vertical axis, my values that are larger than or equal to 0. What about the line? Remember that when you have a line with no restriction, with no limitation, domain and range are both R. This is true for all increasing, decreasing, or constant lines. For problem 12 to 13, determine the x and y-intercept. Okay, to find x-intercept, set y equal to 0. Y equal to 0, solve for x. So if I set y equal to 0, I get a half times x plus 11. Here I have an equation. I have a number on the left. I have some terms on the right. I'm going to isolate x. So we're going to subtract 11 from both sides. We can cancel out 11 minus 11. So a half. X becomes negative 11. Now, to get rid of this 2, we multiply both sides by 2. So x becomes negative 22. So far, the correct answer seems to be negative 22 and 0 for my x-intercept. To find y-intercept, set x equal to 0, solve for y. If x is equal to 0, y is obviously 11. So the correct answer is C. Number 13, the same process. To find x-intercept, set y equal to 0. So I'm finding x-intercept. 5 times x minus 10 times 0 is 30. 10 times 0 is always 0. So you get 5x equals to 30. To get rid of 5, divide everything by 5. So x becomes 30 divided by 5, or 6. So my x is 6, my y is 0. So far it seems 6 and 0 is the correct answer, D. But let us check the y-intercept. To find y-intercept, set x equal to 0. If x is 0, I get 5 times 0 minus 10y equals to 30. This is 0, and the negative 10y is 30, so y becomes 30 over negative 10, or negative 3. So here we have our answer. Finally, we want to find the slope of the line passing through these 2 points. Okay, to find the slope, first we'll label these. x1, y1, x2, y2. M is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The rise over run. So you get 7 minus negative 11. Remember that your number is negative. Don't forget to use parentheses. Divided by 2 minus negative 7. So we get minus times minus plus 7 plus 11 divided by 2 plus 7, or 18 over 9, which is 2. Slope of the line, or the rate of change, is 2.